Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. Dave Sadler here from the Big Metal Detecting Podcast. And we've got a bit of a special now. We've got a Regton and Garrett special. So we've got a wealth of people that you may have heard of from the world of YouTube and American metal detecting. Some special guests coming up today. Going to have a chat with each and every one of them, telling me how the weekend's going and such like. And obviously thank you to Regton's for arranging this, and obviously these are all Garrett detectorists as well. So first and foremost, we've already spoke to her today, and we launched the podcast with her last week. Digger Dawn, how are you again?
I'm all right, Dave. Nice to see you. It's
and
lovely.
Yourself.
It's a beautiful day.
It is, and it's fantabulous that you haven't got lots of people following you around this time.
I actually have had. I've had to sit in the middle of the field earlier before and to sort of escape. Sitting in the middle there, nobody knew I was there. It was like, yeah.
You have been the Pied Piper today.
I have with my little girls. I've got a little following of little girls that follow me around.
We had Willow. We had it on the podcast earlier. So
and Bug.
So have you been out since?
I went out for a couple of hours this morning and walked all the way. You know what? I point on radio me. Went all the way to the field at the end. Field 1, Field 2, Field 3. Found a couple of musket balls. And then came back because I'd lost Jocelyn, you see, and I was panicking trying to find Jocelyn. And I must have passed her in the field, didn't I? And then I just sat here, and then I've just been chatting to people and just enjoying the sunshine. It's been fantastic.
Best weather I've seen it, any metal detecting event for a while.
Can't be any better. When it's an event like this with everybody around and it's so sunny and hot, and it's just fantastic, isn't it?
And it's nice to see so many people go in the bar as well.
Yeah. I haven't been to the bar today, actually. Can I just say that? I haven't
Show me your tongue. She didn't show me her tongue, therefore she must be telling fibs. So anyway, obviously people who want to learn a bit more about what you do and follow you and what have you, give me a shout out for your YouTube and your Facebook groups.
Yeah, well, I've got a big Facebook group for metal detecting, and it's out there and it's for people that are mostly beginners that like to join and things like that, and it's a really friendly group. So that's Digger Dawn Metal Detecting Group on Facebook. And then I've got my YouTube channel, which is doing really, really well at the minute, and that's Digger Dawn, just Digger Dawn on YouTube. And I've just gone over 12,000 subs, so I'm quite pleased about that.
And that all using one certain type of machine? Yeah,
using, it used to be a Garrett Ace 400i, and now it's an AT Max. So since I've been using the AT Max, I've got a Nell coil on it, so it's a 13-inch Nell Tornado coil, and it's just turned into a silver machine. I seem to just find silver every week.
And it's actually got its own name?
Yeah, it's called Maxi. And when it's performed really well, it gets a nice little shower.
And we also haven't mentioned today somebody who isn't with you this weekend.
Yeah, Diggy. Well, you see, I know Diggy's very popular, and I've actually, because it was his birthday this week, it was his birthday on Wednesday, and people's actually brought him presents. So I've got 3 presents in the back that are all squeaking. They're wrapped up in presents. And I think one's come from Holland and 2 come from England. So yeah, Diggy's going to be really happy, but I couldn't bring him, you see, because I'm staying in a hotel. I'm not roughing it in a tent, and the hotel won't let dogs in, unfortunately. Which is a shame, because his mum comes here with Sid Perry, if you know Sid, and Phil Fraghill. And Phil Fraghill's dog, Angel, who everybody knows, is actually Diggy's mum. So I wanted them to meet one day. Yeah, did you not know that? Yeah, so Angel is Diggy's mum.
That's marvellous.
Diggy's got digging blood in him, you see.
Great to keep in communication with his mummy.
Yeah, well, I don't know if one day, if they met, would they get on? Or would she think, oh no, I've got rid of you once, what are you doing back?
You're overthinking this now, aren't you? Well, thanks as ever, Dawn. It's been a pleasure. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
It's a pleasure to meet you and see you, Dave, as
to
always.
Meet me?
No, to see you.
You said meet me.
I know, I said the wrong thing. I know, I said the wrong thing.
Dawn, it's a pleasure as ever.
Yeah.
And now there's somebody I've wanted to speak to and meet for quite some time. She's standing here looking all what's going to happen here. It's quite easy.
What's happening here?
This is Relic recoverist.
Yes, hello. Hi there.
And it's nice to see you in the UK.
Yes, I got in yesterday. I'm still not sure what day or what hour it is, but...
Nor am I, to be fair. And you come quite regularly to England.
I was here 2 years ago, so not quite regularly, but I have been over here before, and I enjoy it.
And Detectival, what do you think about this weekend?
I've been out to the fields once, and I haven't found a whole lot, but I've met a lot of really great people, and I come here to meet people and hang out, and hopefully find something awesome, but we'll see.
And we've actually got decent weather for you.
Oh yes, I was just asking if anyone had any sunscreen, so they're like, this is England.
Yeah, I think you best go in the Regton's tent just in case.
Yeah, nobody had any, so I don't know what I'm going to do.
So for people who don't know, obviously you've got your real name's Jocelyn.
Yes.
And you've got a YouTube channel, obviously. Tell people a bit more about your YouTube channel.
So my channel is Relic, recoverist, and I started it a few years ago, and it's been growing pretty steadily. I've got about 70,000 subscribers, but I just go out and find old coins and old relics and stuff. I mean, not old by England standards, but old by US standards, so 1700s, 1800s, yeah.
So you're doing well, enjoying it?
Oh yeah, I love it. I love this hobby.
And obviously I'm friends with you on Facebook, and we've got another little lamp business going on.
Yes, that is my second channel. I actually have two channels. I have Relic, recoverist and Crazy Lamp Lady, and that channel's almost at 100,000. So
already?
Yes.
Gosh, that's fantastic.
That was only a couple months.
Wow.
So that's exciting.
Well, as I say, I've been wanting to meet you and speak to you for a while. It's a pleasure to meet you in the UK. Hopefully we can communicate in the future, and obviously What find would you like in the UK?
Oh, I would absolutely love to find a Roman coin. I really want to find one.
Well, you'd be very jealous. One of our in-the-field reporters have actually had one today. I don't know if he's around, but Niall's actually had one up today, so they are out there.
Oh, I'm hoping tomorrow I will get one, because I come all this way. I need to find one.
Go out detecting. Jocelyn, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Yes, it's been nice to speak with you too.
Take care and have a great weekend.
Thanks.
So that was Jocelyn. And we're being guided to our next guest by my good friend Aaron from last week, who showed me the Orcs. You showed me the Orcs from XP, which
yes.
I semi fell in love with.
It's a brilliant machine, absolutely brilliant machine. Yeah, real up and comer.
Aaron is from works for Regton's.
I do, yeah, newest employee, and I love it here. It's absolutely amazing, dream job.
And you're having a good weekend yourself.
Absolutely brilliant. I'm hoping to get out a little bit tomorrow. We're a little bit busy today, so I don't think that might happen. However, tomorrow, hopefully.
I think if you send the YouTubers on the way and do some metal detecting themselves, you might get 10 minutes.
Possibly, yes. Yeah, they're drawing a lot of attention, which of course is brilliant, because everybody loves the YouTubers. They bring a good light to the hobby, and they get more people into it, which is exactly what we want.
Absolutely. Well, Aaron, are you going to take me along to our next guest?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm sure I can introduce you to a few people. We have Suffolk Sifter over here. I can take you over to him.
So just about everything. Oh, sorry, Steve. Anyway.
Good afternoon, Suffolk Seeker. How are you?
Suffolk Sifter.
Suffolk Sifter. I do apologise.
That's fine.
I should read your shirt, really,
Well,
shouldn't
no, a lot of people say Suffolk Sister, but Suffolk Sifter, Detectorist.
I? This is the second podcast I've done today, and it's been a long weekend up to now, so I do apologise.
I know, it gets you like that sometimes.
It's a great weekend as well.
It's brilliant. The weather's absolutely fantastic. I brought all my waterproofs and my thermal underwear, and I didn't need it.
Have you been out and about?
I've just hit the token field just for a laugh, but alas, come away empty-handed.
Oh dear. So tell me a bit more about your YouTube channel.
Well, it's called obviously Suffolk Sifter Detectorist, and it goes out. Well, I've got a live stream going out on a Wednesday, and the channel has been going about 2 years. We've got around about 1,200 subscribers at the moment, so it's heading in the right direction. And I just love doing it. I love detecting. I love filming me detecting and editing, and I like getting the comments, the positive comments.
Well, hopefully in the future, we can liaise away from Detectival, and you hopefully come on the podcast yourself and discuss all the activities that you do and all your finds and such like. So what is your best find? What's your favourite find?
Probably my favourite find was a 9th century Anglo-Saxon strap hand, and that had the complete with the 2 silver rivets. So I didn't know what it was at the time. I held it up the wrong way and it looked like an owl. So, but turn it around the right way is a Saxon strap end. I found the surface find. It was a Viking horse harness piece. That was nice, but it was just laying on the ground. The detective found it, but I didn't have to dig for it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we talk about misidentifying finds. I got a long piece of metal and I wouldn't have a clue what it was. And it was only when somebody else came over and said there's a hinge in it, I realised it was Victorian nutcrackers.
Right, yeah. I found the other day I went detecting just for a quick one before I came out to Detectival, and I found a little thing with 2 holes in, and it turned out to be part of a medieval spur.
Marvellous.
So you never know what you've got until you look into it.
Certainly don't. Well, obviously, for people who are interested, want to learn more about yourself and your YouTube channel.
Yeah, well, the website first is full of information, www.suffolk-sifter.uk, and you can get the details to hit my YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and the rest of the details on the website.
Fantastic. And hopefully I will remember, because I forgot 1 or 2 today, but I will remember to put some links on our own Archaeology and Metal Detecting Magazine Facebook page, and obviously people can find you there.
Yeah, that'd be great. Much appreciated.
Pleasure to meet you. Have a good weekend.
And you.
Cheers. Over to Aaron again. Aaron, where are you taking me now?
I think I'll take you over to YouTube star Aquachigger.
Aquachigger.
Here he is over here.
Aquachigger's chatting at the moment, so we're going to interrupt.
The biggest.
How are you, young
How are
man?
we doing? How am I? I'm doing great. Famous now.
And people might recognise you, Aquachigger, from a certain UK television programme, or am I wrong?
Well, I have had a few people walk up to me and say, "You're the guy that was in the rivers." yeah, I did River Hunters 2 summers ago, and it ran this past summer.
And it was, I thoroughly did appreciate everything and I really enjoyed it. I actually contacted you to see if you were available, but obviously you're in water all over the place too often.
I didn't what?
I contacted you, but you said you're too busy all over the place in water and not able to get reception to do podcasts.
Oh yeah, like during the day.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, places I go, there's no reception. I mean, even at my house, I don't.
That wasn't
At
so
least I didn't jump and scream like a little girl. I'm so proud of myself. Even like at my house, I have to go on the roof to talk on the cell phone. But yeah, it's hard when you're out on the rivers all the time, because of course river's down and there's no reception, and I'm by myself, and there's just I'm by myself.
So back to the programme.
Yeah.
Did you obviously enjoy taking part in a historical reproduction in the UK?
Reproduction.
Sorry, production. I'm very tired now.
I understand. I understand about being tired. It was an awesome experience. It really was. We traveled all over Scotland and England, and it was just a really good experience. I mean, just shooting the show with the people was so much fun, because there were people from all over the UK, and everybody had different accents and different ways of looking at things. They couldn't understand each other. Like, I can't understand you half the time, you know what I mean, because of the accents.
Yeah.
That was really an eye-opener for me. But it was so nice, because everybody was so just cool. Everybody just got along together, and it was fun, and long hours doing the show, but we found some really cool stuff, good stuff. We always had archaeologists with us, so whenever we did find things, we were able to get them identified right there on the spot, so that made it even more exciting, because you know what you're finding. I mean, sometimes you know, but sometimes you don't realize just how historically significant an item might be if you don't really know what it is before. So to get that instant feedback, that was fun. It really was. It was just a tremendous experience.
And you got access to some fantastic locations.
We did. I wish I could name the names, but I just can't remember. There's so many.
Is there a plan for further episodes?
Absolutely. We're going to try to do it again this next summer. We're going to try to do it, and that's all we can say. I guess the History Channel was going through some. They were doing some merger work this summer, so they couldn't do contracts and stuff. Otherwise, we were going to do it this summer. So hopefully, we'll be able to do that next summer.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So back to the US. You get out often. You're out and about all the time, I take it.
Yeah, I get out a good bit. I mean, it's not like all the time. At least that's what I tell people, but it really is pretty much all the time. But it's kind of what I do. I'll get out in the morning and not too early because I do my house stuff in the morning. Help the wife out to do things, but I get out and I'll spend 6 to 8 hours, maybe 5 days a week, doing videos. That's really what I'm doing, is making the videos, sharing the adventure, sharing the outdoors. For me, it's not really all about the find. And if you watch my videos, I think that comes across because I have videos where I don't find anything. But for me, it's being out, and I want other people to share in that excitement and joy of being outside. And just looking around, looking in the trees, looking at the animals, looking at the fish, and paying attention to what's around them. There's just so many wonderful things out there that the average person pays no attention to.
Well, I certainly do enjoy your channel. I've not seen all the videos, I've seen lots of the videos. What is your YouTube account for the people who don't know?
Aquachigger. Aquachigger, one word, A-Q-U-A, Chigger, C-H-I-G-G-E-R. Now, aqua, of course, is water, and a chigger, I don't know if you have them over here, but it's a little insect that lives in the high grass along streams. When you walk through the grass, they get on your legs, they go up under your pants, and they bite you. They make these terribly itchy welts that will last for days. You just itch. That's a chigger.
I'm actually very thankful that you told me that, because I did wonder.
Yeah, that's what it is. And then the way I got that name was, I was detecting in a farm pond, and there was another type of insect, not a chigger. It's called swimmer's itch. I don't know the scientific name, but it's an insect that lives in the water. Comes from ducks when they defecate, which is really gross. But they try to get into your skin, and you can get them at saltwater beaches, swimming beaches, anywhere. And they try to get into your skin, so they crawl into your skin and they die, and they itch like crazy, just like a chigger on the land. So you come out and you kind of feel them, and within half an hour, you're like scratching them bloody for days. And I was trying to explain this very conversation to a friend, which is going kind of like it is now, very long. He says, it's kind of like, I was trying to say, it's like a chigger on the land. I says, an aquachigger. That's where it came from. Long story, but that's where it came from.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And I come back from Turkey a couple of months ago, and I ended up in hospital from mosquito bites, so I can appreciate the chiggers.
What?
I ended up in hospital from the mosquito bites. Yeah.
Wow.
I had a very bad reaction to them. They were by the river in Dalyan in Turkey, and it was just mosquito central.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you a little side story about when I was over here doing the show. The second week I was over, the first show that we were shooting, halfway through it, I said my stomach started kind of grumbling. And we were eating lunch. I looked at it and almost vomited, just looking at lunch, right? And I proceeded to get worse and worse and worse. And over the course of 3-4 weeks, I couldn't eat anything, because I'd eat something and it would just run right through me. So I couldn't eat for 3 weeks. And I lost 22 pounds. Don't know how many stone that is, but 22 pounds. Got really thin. And then I started getting better. Right, and I got better toward the end. And it turns out I had Giardia. Now, Giardia is what is Giardia? Giardia, not a protozoa, it's amoeba. So it's like having an amoebic dysentery. It's what I had for during the show. And you get it from the water. When animals would defecate in the water, especially beavers and stuff like that. And so everybody said, you got it from the water. Aquachigger, I got it from the water. I didn't know where I got it. So I get home, telling my wife about all this, and she says, remember that batch of kittens, baby cats that we were fostering just before you left? They had Giardia. So I got it from the kittens that we were taking care of just before I left.
That's
it's really sad. Kittens brought the aquachigger down, you know what I mean?
Little baby kittens. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure to meet you and talk to you. I've wanted to obviously speak to you for a while now. Again, Aquachigger's your channel, and have a great weekend at Detectival, and I look forward to the next series.
Yeah, well, thank you so much. I am having a great time.
Good, and you can go and have some beer soon if you really want.
Very soon. I'm very parched right now.
Take care. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
Yeah.
Aaron.
Yes.
Aquachigger, legend.
He is indeed.
Thank you very much.
In the winter.
Yeah, he's going to come on the podcast in the winter to do his share. That's fantastic. Thank you very much.
Good news.
It is, yeah. I contacted him a while ago, but obviously we know how busy he is.
He is a very busy person, yes.
So,
very busy.
Where are we next?
We are next at Hopius Maximus, which is this gentleman here.
Hopius Maximus. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad.
Do we have a real name?
Well, Keith. People call me Geordie, but I'm not a Geordie, so Keith.
Yeah, people call me a Scouser and I'm from Ellesmere Port.
Well, yeah. When I came down here many years ago, one of the Dorset guys heard me accent. He said, "Oh, I've never met a Geordie." I said, "I'm not a Geordie," and he said, "Well, you sound like one," and the name's stuck ever since. So there's nothing I can do about it.
So tell us about your YouTube channel.
Well, I've only been detecting 3 years next month since I retired from the prison service. I knew nothing about history, and this hobby is absolutely amazing. I found some marvellous stuff, and I want to know what everything is. So if I'd done history at school, I would have had a better idea. But I research everything, and when I do my YouTube videos, I don't show rubbish. I only do a video when I've got some nice finds. I do the research and I pass that information on. And the feedback I get from all the comments is brilliant, because there's so much that people don't know.
You've got some of your finds here, obviously, and some images of other things, and you've got some absolutely delightful things. Can you tell us a bit about what we can see?
Yeah, well, I'll do the pictures first. I'd been detecting about 5 weeks, and I found a solid gold ram's head brooch. It was unhallmarked, so I sent it off as potential treasure, which is the thing to do. It was at the British Museum for over a year. Eventually they said, we're not quite 100%, but we're going to say that it's 1800s, so I got it back. But that's a beautiful piece, so intricate. About 5 weeks later, I found a scattered hoard of 6 Iron Age Celtic gold staters. Absolutely immaculate. Oh, just like the day they were struck. Absolutely beautiful. They're at the Dorchester Museum now, because I knew I wouldn't get them back. But it's fantastic, yeah.
The absolute, obviously we can't see them on the radio,
No.
but they do look absolutely stunning. Each and every one's
absolutely
so
beautiful.
Delicate and so
and even
refined.
There's the odd part of some of them on the obverse where they're plain, but that's purely the angle of the strike. It's not that the one. It's where it didn't come quite down square on, so you get a deep impression on part of the coin and maybe a lesser impression on the other part.
I'm with you. And then we've got a box of delights. You've got some show and tell items as well.
Well, if I just quickly run through them verbally, there's a silver Juratrigas, which is Dorset Tribe, silver stater. I've got some silver Roman denariuses there. Roman bronze coins, 3 Roman brooches. That T-fibula is silver covered, which is lovely. An Anglo-Saxon polyhedral pin, which is absolutely stunning for what it is. All of the detail on it, and various hammered silver coins, and half cuts and quarter cuts, and I just love it.
And does Mrs. Maximus therefore call you lucky?
My Mrs. Maximus is a long way away from me, so that's why, because I'm retired, I can get out and because this stuff doesn't pop out the ground easily. It's a lot of hours, a lot of hard work.
It certainly is. I totally appreciate that. I mean, I've put a lot of hours in myself, but I certainly haven't got a collection as stunning as that.
Well, this is only part of it. I just thought I'd bring a little bit along today. And of course, there's a lot of bits. When I find something nice, I go to the landowner, and some say, can I have that? Well, obviously yes. Some aren't interested. But if it's anything of value, I'll say, well, I know that's worth £100, so I'll give him £50, and he's happy because he didn't even know it was there. And that's the way to do it. If you do it responsibly and properly, then you gain their trust, and he might say to another landowner, well, that guy's like these items here with the Celtic status. He knows he can trust me. And farmers talk to each other.
They do. So, tell us a little bit more about your YouTube channel and where people can find you and such like.
Right, well, the name is Horpius Maximus. If you type into Google Horpius Maximus, I can't really spell it out on the mic. I've got 40 videos over 3 years, which isn't a lot, but that's because I don't show rubbish. So if you see one of my videos, you'll know that it's quality items coming out the ground. So if anybody's listening, please have a look, and if you want to subscribe and comment, that would be great.
Well, I certainly will be. A stunning collection.
Have a card.
Thank you, I've got a card. So we can spell it's Hopeus, Hopius, Maximus, Maximus. So have a look for that on YouTube. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you very much.
And hopefully we will be able to contact you in the future and get you on the podcast and talk about your adventures out for an hour or so.
Well, that will be absolutely great. Dave, yeah, thanks very much, Dave.
You're welcome. It's nice to meet you.
And you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye now.
See ya. Aaron,
Hello.
where are we?
Next of all, last of all, we've got the wonderful Mr. Andy Sabish, who is very well renowned for my mind has gone completely blank.
Books.
Yes, he is very well renowned for his books, his handbooks of various metal detectors. I'll pass him over to you.
Thank you, Dave. I'm gonna have to look at the badge because I forgot the pronouncing. Andy Sabish.
There you go.
From Treasure Hunting Outfitters in the US of A.
My wife's shop, yes.
How are you today? You enjoying Detectival?
Enjoying it, beautiful weather, enjoyed just being here in England and the history.
Do you know, of all the people I've seen walking around, you're the one who studied everything the most, I think, this weekend.
Really?
Yeah, every single thing, every stall you've stopped and you've studied every little aspect of it and discussed things at length. Most people just walk past. You've took an interest in absolutely everything.
You know, this is 54 years now I've been metal detecting, and to be honest with you, I learned something every time I go to an event, a show, a hunt. I always learn something. New detectors, different detectors, finds, learning how to identify items. It's just amazing what's out there. So I'm always looking to learn something new.
Now, as Aaron's just said, you've been involved in writing numerous books.
Right.
So you tell us a little bit more about them so people can have a look at them if needs be.
You know, again, I got started writing books 25 years ago. I used to be the field editor for Lost Treasure magazine, which unfortunately, after 55 years in business, they just closed up. But I decided to write books, and my writing style is one that takes something technical and makes it easy to understand. People really enjoy that. I take a lot of input from other people around the world, so it's not just my ideas or my techniques. So I get input from other treasure hunters around the world and put it into a book so people can use it as a guide to do better.
So, and how many books can you think that you've actually written?
18. I've done 18 books.
That's a classic. That's brilliant. Absolutely.
3,500 articles and 18 books.
Busy man.
It keeps me out of trouble, as my wife says.
And machines currently, what machine are you currently using? Mainly?
CTX 3030, the Deus, and the Equinox.
As we discussed before, you've not just got one or two machines.
You know, I use what works, and if a new machine comes out, I'll take a look at it. There's plenty of machines here. I looked at C-Scope today. There's definitely some features in there that I'm looking at bringing one of those back with me.
Yeah, it's a fantastic little machine. I'm Detectival. How do you feel about that this weekend? You had fun enjoying it?
The United States, I mean, our idea of a treasure hunt is 100 people. So we don't have anything that's got 2,000 people or 1,000 people. So just seeing this many treasure hunters, this many people out enjoying the hobby is amazing. So I haven't been out in the field yet, but maybe tomorrow I'll get out and swing a machine. I
think you really need to. Get over the jet lag. You've been up to Scotland, haven't you?
I've been in Scotland for the last week detecting. We brought a group of 15 people up there, and so I flew in yesterday and drove up.
So many finds of consequence up in Scotland for the 15?
Yeah, I mean, we put everything on display the last night we were there. We had 30 coins. We had items going back to the 11th century. Not quite the history you got here in England, up in Scotland, but definitely some beautiful finds. A few Bronze Age items were found. Unfortunately, they're all still in Scotland, so they were taken by the museum.
But fabulous to be involved in.
Just to be able to hold something that goes back 3,000 years is amazing.
And obviously, we're more or less right next to the reenactors as well. So I take it you've had a look at them for the context.
Yes, absolutely. I took several pictures, and again, it just shows you what was lost out in these fields 2,000 years ago.
Yeah. Well, it's been a pleasure to speak to you this weekend. Obviously, we spoke great length earlier.
Okay.
We spoke about the Viking, the early Viking that we were able to get back.
Yes. My first metal detector was 1964 in the United States. It was made by a company called the Viking, and it's not the same Viking that was here in the UK. And I lost it, gave it away over the years, and it was a search to find it. I put the word out to see if anybody could find one of these things used, stashed away somewhere, and someone finally found one. And it took me 10 years to get it back, and I've got it hanging on the wall now in our shop.
And then you were privy to me having exactly the same experience.
Exactly, with your C-Scope, same thing.
Yeah, so don't forget, people, if you did have a machine that started years ago, they're still available. You can find them somewhere, and all the memories come flooding back.
Absolutely. And, I'd enjoy the chance talking to you, but I'd love to be able to get on one of your podcasts in the future.
I can't wait for that. We're going to certainly organise that. It's been an absolute pleasure to speak to you. I'll meet you over the weekend, and obviously I'll see you again more than once, no doubt.
Okay, great. Thanks again.
Thank you, Andy. It's been a pleasure. Oh, that's another person, Dan. I tell you what, my voice is going, my back's going, but hungry for more. Anybody else, or is that us for the day?
I think that's it for today. We've got a couple of other people dotted around now, whether they're out digging or they're chatting to other people, so I'm sure we could pick up with them tomorrow. Or
KG and Ringy tomorrow.
Yes.
KG and Ringy tomorrow. We all know KG and Ringy.
Yes, we
and top fun blokes. Really have a good time with them. In fact, last year we done a podcast on the All Metal Mode, and they stole my phone and disappeared talking to Mike Air for an hour.
Well, they're definitely not the only one who pulled pranks, because I've heard that my team are looking for when I put my phone down. So, they've definitely got something going on, something planned.
Just before we actually started recording, I'd done a little prank myself, and I'm awaiting the full force of the comeback there. So, Aaron, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for all your help.
Definitely been a pleasure. Thank you so much for having us on. Of course, I'm happy to show you to all the YouTubers and everything like that. And a massive thank you from Regton themselves for having us.
And people can obviously find more about Regton's and obviously find out what machines, etc., from.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we offer free advice for any machine, even if we don't sell it. We'll try and get people the information they need, and if we can't deliver that information, we'll point them in the right direction. However, most of the time we are more or less always able to give correct information and help people improve their metal detecting.
And that's as simple regtons.com.
It is definitely www.regton.com.
Excellent. Thank you, young man. It's been a pleasure.
No problem at all.
So that's the Regtons and YouTuber special. We've had some people I didn't even know were here, so it was nice to chat to them. Andy Sabich, I actually spent a good half an hour before chatting to by the stall, and it was really nice to meet Jocelyn Elizabeth and Aquachigger and Hopus Maximus, and obviously Suffolk Sifter. See, said it right, and he's given me the thumbs up. So thank you to all and sundry. Obviously this will be widely promoted, and you'll get to listen to all your favourite YouTubers there. So I'm Dave Sadler again, and hopefully that's it for today. At 9 o'clock in the morning we have a Mine Lab special where we'll be discussing the new Vanquish machine. We'll be discussing bits and bobs with different people from the Mine Lab organisation, as well as Mine Lab users, and I think they're going to be taking me onto the Mine Lab test pit as well to have a play and see what I think about the Mine Labs. So really looking forward to that. Tonight we've got the big announcement. Well, we've got two big announcements tonight, which you'll be able to see us on YouTube. We at 5:30 we'll be over at the Nocta Macro area where they will be releasing the Simplex, and also, as Dialect said earlier, another machine. So we're looking forward to that. And then at 7:30 it will be the official launch and introduction of the Mine Lab Vanquish. So thank you all for listening. Give us a follow, obviously, or find us on the Archaeology and Metal Detecting magazine on Facebook or archmdmag.com. Thank you all.